Welcome to another edition of Table Talk, and today we're blessed to have not only Fumi with us, but Paul, all the way from India, and we're going to have a little chat with him about life in India, what life is like being a Christian in India, and especially being a teenager in India as well. So Paul, tell us about yourself, your name, where did you come from and why are you here in England today, then we'll get into other stuff.
Well, I'm Paul Madiki and I'm from India, as you said. I'm studying my BSc Honours Economics and Finance, and I got admitted into LSE. So I was here to study with the LSE. I'll be going back in a week, so I've been here a good amount of time. Yeah.
So what is LSE?
LSE is the London School of Economics and Political Science. It's currently the UK's best university. It's ranked even higher than Cambridge and Oxford, so yeah.
I saw the smile on your face when you said that.
Proud moment for your parents, I'm guessing. So Fumi, you've definitely been to university and things. What was that like in your experience?
Oh, it's a time to meet new people, make new friends. It's a time to study hard. It's also a time of growth in every way, because you're not at home anymore, and therefore whatever you've learnt or upbringing your parents have brought, it's a time to see, are you going to remember all of them, or are you going to make your decisions as to which way you will go. So yes, there's studying and that, but there's also a time to have fun and a time to make new friends and meet new people, and beginning of seeing the world really.
So you were here and you stayed to study. You're only here for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So where are you studying at the moment in India?
I'm studying in Delhi. It's called the Indian School of Business and Finance. It's part of the LSE, so LSE does all the coursework and all the grading and all the exams. So yeah, I'm currently studying in Delhi. I'm from the southern part of India, Andhra Pradesh, but I'm studying in Delhi and I'm only here for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And this is your first time in the UK?
This is my first time in the UK.
Welcome again.
So welcome to the UK. I'm guessing the question is, what's your favourite thing that you've saw or experienced in the UK so far?
Definitely, most of the London is quite interesting to me, because what I found interesting about London is that you have all this ancient architecture and the modern buildings right beside each other, so I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Well, we enjoy. I don't mind living in England. It's just it's full of English people. That's the problem, So coming from Scotland, that's understandable. So that's one of your highlights. What about the things? Did you find anything shocking, or did you come across things that I didn't realise that went on here? Or
definitely, I've seen different cultures living together. I think it's kind of interesting, because what I thought of England was it's completely dominated with English people, but in London it's a completely different story. You see the Chinese, you see people from the States, you see people from Australia, and all different cultures and all different places. So I find that a bit shocking. We
talked earlier, and your impression of the UK is very much what a lot of people outside of the UK think, that the UK is a Christian country. It's dominated by Christianity. And I've tried to explain that that's not the case anymore. So have you kind of seen that, witnessed that?
Oh yeah, definitely, because I was out on a Sunday looking for a church, and then I see most of the shops and most of the shopping centers were very filled with people, and I kind of realized back in India, if you're living in a Christian place, you don't see most of the people around on Sunday, because most of them are busy going to church. So yeah.
Interesting.
And given that England is like very much Christian country from the very beginning, so I've seen all the cathedrals and all. A lot of dedication has been put into the architecture and to glorify God, but now I think it's completely different picture now.
Yeah.
So, going back to your homeland, for those in the UK, a lot of people support the work in India, and you may not know Paul, but you'll definitely know his father, who's called
Vijay Madikeri.
Vijay, yeah, and his cousin is Joel. And a lot of churches in the UK support the work over there, which they are extremely grateful for. So tell us a little bit of that, because you gave a little bit of presentation this morning. Tell us about how that was like being raised in that environment with a what would you call it, a full-time preacher doing all the work. What was that like? Because you touched on it.
Both my parents, mom and dad, they are British Bible School graduates, and both of them are in the full-time ministry for 20 years now, and 23 years. So growing up, I had a brother, his name is Samuel, and it's good to have a brother, especially when growing up, because our parents are more involved in all these works, and we didn't feel much of left alone, because we were mostly, they made sure that we were mostly involved in the works that they do themselves. So we get to witness all these living conditions and the struggles that the people face in the rural India. So you might think that we may feel lonely or a bit, skeptical about us parents being very involved in that, but it's completely different from our perspective. From our perspective, we see that it's a noble work they're doing, and that's because we know the struggles and we saw them firsthand, how people live. So, and we were mostly involved in the work itself. So I feel it's a noble work they are doing, and I would like to continue that work.
So tell us, you mentioned noble work. What, in practical terms, what are they doing?
We have many different programs that we do. Dad is mostly involved in teaching for the rural preachers. It's called the Rural Preachers Network. Basically what happens in the tribal regions, they are mostly illiterate people. They don't get to read the Bible, and they don't have access to internet, and they don't have the access to resources. So what Dad does is he gathers a group of 50-60 people, 50-60 preachers living in some region, and he goes there once in a month, teaches about a book or a theme, and then so that once the preachers learn about that theme with the great depth and the resources, so they will replicate those messages in their own congregations. And what mom does is quite interesting, because she works with children and women in India, especially in rural India. We do a lot of work with the children and with their education and giving them proper nutrition, giving them snacks and stuff. We have places where people come and study, because a lot of these kids, they don't have proper facilities at their home to study themselves. There's lack of electricity, they find it hard to get good nutrition or even proper clothes. So what we do is, at least to our capability, we try our best to give them good food and good clothing and a platform where they can study. And what's the main issue, I believe, is that the parents are illiterate, and if you want your children to study, if the child has any doubts in particular subject, the parents can't help them with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is, when we organize these study groups, we teach children about the doubts and we help them learn better.
So do any of the parents come with the children, the younger children, so they too are learning as well?
Oh, definitely, especially the women.
Okay.
They are quite interested in learning, because in this modern age you need to know at least how to read and how to write.
Yeah.
Especially how to do basic math about shopping and everything. So a lot of the women of the family, they tend to come along with children, at least in the first few days, so that the child might uh, feel safe around us, so that once they're adjusted, the parents usually drop them there and stay with them for a while so that they feel comfortable, and then they might leave. But if few parents do find it interesting to learn about stuff, and if they do have free time, they'll join us in the sessions.
Because I find that interesting. The Bible over and over again tells us that, you know, God is interested in almost like the weak and vulnerable of society. I think James tells us that religion that's true is that we look after the orphans and the widows and the distress, you know. And it seems to me that you guys are very much on the front line dealing with orphans and widows. So how, for you as a child being raised in that environment, how does it make you feel to be able to help these children and widows?
Oh, I feel blessed and grateful for the opportunity that I even get to know these people, because once you looked at them, once you looked at their living conditions and the problems they face in their families, you feel very privileged and you feel blessed. You get to appreciate a lot about what God has given you, which if you don't see them, you tend to ignore all the miracles that God has performed in your life. And when you look at them and feel blessed, and you get that urge to help them even more. Yeah.
Because I mean, I've said it for a long time, I find it all very humbling, you know. I think it's incredible what you guys do. I guess because living in the UK, there's systems in place to help people who are widows and people who are orphaned and things. There's a lot of help there, but in India there's absolute nothing. Because I get the impression that if you're lower class, like we were talking about earlier, then you've got no chance unless people are coming together to help, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was mentioning earlier as well. India is a two-paced economy, as we call it, because on paper India is a very, very fast and developing, progressing nation. It's a $1 trillion economy. You have all the developed cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Chennai. But the other side of India, which mostly goes ignored, is living almost 50 years behind. They don't have proper electricity, they don't have proper source of fresh water, and yeah, there are no proper roads and stuff like that. So yeah, it is interesting.
Like I said, I think it's very humbling. I've never experienced something like that. We've been to some poor places and seen how the other half live, if you wish, and that's quite humbling in itself. So what's your long-term plans? What are you planning to do?
I try. Education really interests me a lot, because from the childhood I have seen that education is like a great tool which can be used to break out of the poverty cycle. People tend to respect you and your ideas when you're well educated. So I got this deep interest in education from my childhood, and now I'm doing my economics and finance. I wanted to get my PhD in economics, if God's willing, and then start some educational programs in India where I can be more of help to the children there.
You know, they speak a lot of languages in India. So how many, apart from English, you speak 4 other languages? So in the area that you live in, that's one set of language, or do you get all the different people in your area speaking different languages and you have to learn all the different languages, or is there a main language?
It's basically India is divided into 28 different states, and mostly the state usually have like the main language spoken in the state itself. So there are like 26 officially recognized Indian languages, but within the state itself there are more of regional dialects. So just for example, the Scottish accent is very different from Welsh accent, different from the British accent. So we have these accents and dialects and also different languages together. So mainly you have few main languages like Hindi, Telugu, Tamil and Malayalam. So if you go to a particular state, you need to kind of learn their language, but recently if you know most of English and Hindi, you can get along in India most of the time.
How difficult is it to, or is there any difficulty, let me start again, in this country it can be quite difficult, in the UK, it can be quite difficult to talk to people about Christianity. Except if people have got a religious background, then they're quite happy to just chat about it. You might find the odd person that might want to listen for a bit, but there can be a struggle with talking about God, talking about Christ. How easy is it for you to communicate that in a simple way to your friends or in a chat, in a conversation, without feeling like you've got to keep quiet and because people get embarrassed here. I mean, you might think, well, it's the Western world, people can speak whatever, but people still do get embarrassed at that. So how easy is it for you as a person, not necessarily in the country as a whole, but for you as a person to articulate what God means to you and what Jesus means to you as a person to somebody else who doesn't have that faith and is wondering about it in India?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty difficult to start a conversation on that, but for me I feel like I'm a bit confident in myself because India is a majoritarily Hindu populated country. Almost 80% of them are Hindus. So most of them wouldn't even consider switching their religion because they're already well enough established in their own religions. So my friends sometimes like to, so when they hear that I'm a Christian, few of them might be interested in knowing what the religion is but not intending to convert. But so if they really have some, it's like when you meet a Buddhist, you want to know about what their religion is. So there will be few conversations among my friends asking doubts about Christianity, but it's pretty hard to start the conversation yourself. And as you mentioned, people do get embarrassed and stuff. So it is very similar to what you guys feel, but since Christianity is like the least minority in India, people usually don't care that much about Christianity.
No.
So yeah.
So we've interviewed a few teenagers and things on this platform, and we've spoke about the challenges they've had being a Christian, being a teenage Christian, growing up in a very increasing worldly environment. So you mentioned this is your first time out of India. So in respect of being raised in let's call it a Christian bubble, okay? Do you see any challenges living outside of that Christian bubble?
Oh yeah, because my family is, all of my family is Christian, so I do live in a Christian bubble when I'm back home. But when I moved to Delhi and moved to college, I noticed it is a bit difficult to get around with people because all of these different religions, they have their own cultures and they have their own particular set of things to do and not to do. And when you're with your friends, which are mostly Hindu, they have their own set of habits, and you feel like out of place when you're hanging out. And yeah, and there are a lot of cultural differences between the religions, so you sometimes might offend someone, or you might not probably fit in, and when you're out of this bubble, you tend to feel a bit lost in the world. So yeah.
So do you kind of feel lonely, and do you find, considering that there's only a small, extremely small minority of Christians, so the chances of you going somewhere and then finding that either in the university or wherever in the world, oh, there's another Christian, whatever the denomination is, there's another Christian. Do you find that draws you to them? You just that it's like a common bond, and do you find that there's some? I know you're still young, but do you find that in a time period you know you've been away from home, that there are those who may be Christians, but the whole of the world, because there's such a minority, they're just leaving Christianity and then going back into whatever it is they used to be before, because that's more comfortable and you've got more people with that.
Exactly.
Do you find that?
Oh, I do find that, because I have a live example of me studying in Delhi, and I found one other person, actually two other people who are also Christian, different denominations, but they were Christians. And since when you're living in Delhi, it's a very developed or fast growing city, and you have all these cultural differences, and especially when you're a Christian, and as Mike mentioned, you are in a Christian bubble, and when you go out of the bubble and go into this fast-paced world, you might feel a bit difficult to find friends or to get along people. So most of them tend to leave their Christian mentality back home and try to blend in with the environment they are at. So all the pop culture, and all the Hindus things.
So relating with that then, how did you prepare for this? Did you have to prepare for this? Going into the world? Did you, obviously your parents and that must have helped and guided.
Oh, definitely. I didn't think I needed to prepare for it, but before I went in college, I became a Christian. I took my baptism, so I'm a bit well equipped. Being raised in a Christian family, and where both my mom and dad are very actively involved in full-time ministry, it's kind of like it's like the way of life that we led and how we were risen, it's kind of incorporated into us about what to do and what not to do. There's always the Holy Spirit guiding you. So when I was moving out of home, going to college, a lot of my grandparents and parents were like, you have to be prepared for the world. I didn't give much attention to them then, but now that I'm outside, I saw how the world works, and and
So
definitely parents did help me a lot, because I talk to them daily about stuff that's happening. So
no, that's what I was going to say. Did you sort of like, oh, look, this is happening now.
oh,
What am I going to do about this? And then you sort of like, Mom, Dad.
definitely. I always have a chat before making any decision or anything that I find weird. I always share with them. So yeah.
So what would we're just kind of wrapping up now. So for the people who are watching, who have heard about the work in India, or maybe some Christians support work in India, you know, what would you say to those people just now? As in, if people are watching who are supporting the work in India, or who are thinking about supporting the work, what would you say to them?
It's definitely so good of you to even think of things like that, because if you've seen the actual India, how people live there, you would be more grateful and humbling, and you being able to come out and take the initiative of trying to think and trying to help the mission work in India is so noble of you, and we are so grateful that you are doing, and we encourage you to do more, because there's a lot of work in India which is interrupted because of lack of funds. There is a lot of opportunities that were wasted because of lack of funds, and you guys pitching in to support is it a little you give goes a long way in India. So yeah.
And I would just say this to those who are watching and those who already support the work in India, just have a pray about it and have a think about it, and if you could raise that support in some shape or form, then please go ahead and do that. Let me encourage you to do that, because like you said, we have a shopping supermarket chain called Tesco's here, and one of their taglines is "Every little helps." And that's what I would say to anybody who's watching. Every little helps. It can really make a difference, because the pictures you were showing this morning was incredible. The work you did there. Fumi, do you want to say more?
Yes, it's just a repeat again of the question I asked, just for the sake of the video really, and this table talk. People, the way you're talking, people will think that you're in your 20s, but you're not. You're not even 18. You're going to be 18 soon, in a week or so, in a few days. So, what would you? This is your opportunity to talk to whatever young people might get to see this video. Teenagers or in the 20s or whatever, or very young ones. What would you like to say to them? This is your opportunity to just say a few words to them.
Oh, definitely try and get to learn about God as much as you can, because it's a wonderful God that we have, and you guys have a lot of opportunities here to learn about God and to learn about the Bible and all the miracles that He can do in your life, because it's really a wasted opportunity, I believe, because try and get to spend more time with godly people, try and visit more churches and spend more time with the Bible itself, because it prepares. She asked me whether I had to prepare for life, but I believe if you really meditate on Bible itself, it prepares you for the world. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's been eye-opening, and as I said, Lord willing, we'll maybe get to see you guys very soon. We hope and pray that could come off. But like I said, thank you for joining us, and I hope everybody at home has got a little insight to the work there. But always remember what Jesus was like. He showed compassion on numerous occasions to numerous people, and it's those basic needs: water, food, clothing, that He's promised to bless us with. And so as Christians, as God has blessed us, then we need to go out our way to bless those who are less fortunate than us. So God bless you, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. God bless.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And this is in India, I think it's in Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.